Hi there. Welcome back. In today's practice, we're going to focus on. Hi there. Welcome back. In today's practice, we're going to focus on working with fire element. Fire element governs our digestion. So when our fire element is in healthy balance, our digestion goes well. That includes our physical digestion, of course, of food, of assimilation and transformation of food. But it also includes our sort of emotional and mental digestion. So when we're trying to understand something or when we're trying to transform our emotions, process our emotions, these are all dependent upon healthy digestion. So our practice today will give a boost to that digestion. Let's take a moment with our eyes closed, connecting with your body sitting here, and we'll connect back a little bit to earth and water element to get a nice firm base for our practice. So taking a moment to connect with a sense of stability and support of the earth beneath you, and a sense of your sit bones sinking down into the earth like roots. A feeling of really nourishing breath. So feeling how your breath moves into your body and nourishes you, filling up all the spaces of your body. And then today becoming aware also of a sense of sort of gentle enthusiasm and warmth in the body, connecting with fire element. And bringing the palms of the hands together in front of the chest, backs of the thumbs against the sternum. We'll begin by making the sound Om 3 times. Good. And just taking a moment to feel your sensations, becoming aware of the whole body. And then we're going to move our props out of the way. If you're sitting on a cushion or a blanket, just go ahead and move that off to the side. And we're going to start off coming down onto our back for our practice this morning. So come down onto your back, long on your mat, and you're going to turn your palms down to face the floor, tucking the chin slightly to lengthen the back of the neck, and then you're going to take a little bit of activity in the belly here, like you're trying to push your navel down towards the floor and press the low back to the floor. And your toes are going to point up towards the ceiling. And just take a few moments to just press your back into the floor and feel how that already activates your abdominals. On your next inhalation, go ahead and raise the right leg up to straight, and exhale, lower the leg back down. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lower. Move at your own rhythm and have the feeling that the breath is actually making the movement happen. That these full deep breaths are making the action of the movement of the leg. And as much as you can, you're breathing into the belly of the abdominal area. Inhaling as you lift up, exhaling as you lower. Keep that low back pressing into the floor. This is what keeps the action in the abdominals and protects your low back. If the low back is starting to peel away from the floor, it puts a lot of pressure on the low back, and it can really result in pain and injury. So keep the low back pressing into the floor. And then we're going to relax the right leg down. And then inhaling, lift the left leg. Exhale, lower. Keep breathing, inhaling as you lift up, exhaling as you lower, finding a rhythm that works for you. 2 more. Good, and relax the leg down. And take a moment, completely relax. Let the legs relax and turn out slightly. Relax them completely. Relax the belly. Relax the low back. And just breathe into your belly. And see if you can feel a sense of spreading outwards, warmth spreading outwards from the navel center, out through the legs, up and through the torso, out through the arms. Full deep breathing. Good. Now I want you to try this next version. If it doesn't work for you, then you're going to stick with the previous version or just stick with working on getting your low back to press into the floor. So inhale and lift both legs up and press the heels towards the ceiling. Keep those legs nice and straight. Working right here can be great for working with for strengthening the abdominals, but if you can, if it works for you to keep the low back against the floor, take a deep breath in and exhale, touch the right heel down and inhale, lift it up. Exhale the left heel down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale right. Inhale left. Inhale lift. Exhale left. Inhale, lift it back up. For some people, you'll find that it's a little bit easier. This version is easier than the previous one, and for some people it's more challenging. Just work with whatever works for you, and if you do either one of these, you're going to start to build some good abdominal strength, some core strength. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Good. 2 more. And then relax both legs down. And check your sensations and breathe into the belly. Full deep breaths. Notice all the sensations that awaken in the legs, in the belly, in the chest. Good. Now once again, pressing the low back down, tucking the chin. Take a deep breath and bend the right knee as you draw the heel in towards the sit bone. Lift the leg up, exhale, lower. Inhale, left leg, lift it up, exhale, lower. Inhale, right, exhale, left, exhale. Now, if you feel strong enough here and you'd like to make it a little bit stronger of a movement, then you can actually move both legs at once as if you're pedaling a bicycle. So you're going to inhale, draw the right leg in. As you're straightening the right leg, you're going to start to bend the left and lower the right leg. Straighten the left, bend the right. So just like you're pedaling, you want to try to have the legs perpendicular to each other at 2 points in the movement. So both legs are straight at the same time for just a split moment, for a split second. Nice range of motion. Try to make the cycling circle as big as you can. Keep the low back pressing into the floor. And relax both legs down. Checking into the belly. Full deep breath. Checking sensations again. So we're going to reverse that same movement. And again, you can stay with just one leg moving at a time, or you can do both legs at once. So we're going to start by inhaling, lifting the right leg, bending the knee, stretching the leg out. Inhale left, exhale. Inhale right, exhale. Inhale left, exhale. And again, if you feel like it, if you feel up to it today, then moving both legs at once. But just really checking in with your energy level and your body today. What does your body want? What's working for you today? Just a couple more, moving at your own rhythm. Good. And again, full deep breaths. Checking your sensations. Noticing how your breath is moving, noticing the sensations that are changing and shifting. Good, now we're going to bring the arms straight out to the sides. So you're making sort of a T shape on the floor. Again, lengthen the low back, lengthen the back of the neck. And then inhale, lift both legs up. And this time, let's bend both knees, bringing the shins parallel to the floor. So you want the thighs really vertical and the shins really horizontal. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, lower both knees to one side. Inhale to center. Exhale, lower the knees to the other side. Keeping the shoulders on the floor. Inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If you're feeling adventurous, you can straighten the legs a bit and see how that changes. It makes quite a big difference in the intensity of the pose to have the legs straight versus bent. Keeping the shoulders on the floor. Try not to use the arms too much to do the lifting. Really work on making the action happen around the ribs and the waist. Good, one more. And back to center. And release the legs down. Stretch the legs out and check in with your sensations once again. Good. Now bringing the palms on top of the thighs. On your next inhalation, let's lift the head and the shoulders off the floor until just the tips of your shoulder blades are against the floor. Keep the legs long, keep the low back long against the floor. Keep breathing. And release. Take a few deep breaths, breathing into the belly, spreading the prana, spreading that sense of invigoration through the whole body. And then again, pressing the low back down, bringing the palms on top of the thighs. Inhale, lifting the shoulders and head. And now we're going to lift one leg, keeping the low back pressing against the floor, reaching through that heel. And release. And then same thing, other side. Palms onto the thighs. Turn the toes to face the ceiling. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders, and then lift the other leg a few inches off the floor, keeping the low back pressed into the floor. And release. Good, just checking in, feeling the breath settle, feeling the warmth spreading through the body. Good. And then we're going to come up onto hands and knees. Take a moment to just make any adjustments that you need to make. Feeling your breath in your body and feeling a sense of warmth through the whole, especially the whole core of the body. And then we're going to come onto hands and knees. We're just going to do a little bit of cat-cow pose to stretch out the abdominals a little bit after all of that work. So inhaling, arching the back, lifting the crown and the tail, and then exhaling, curving the spine, lifting the center of the spine towards the ceiling. Inhaling, arching, exhaling, curving. Good. Now we're going to plant the hands and tuck the toes under, coming to mountain pose or downward facing dog. Lifting the shoulders away from the ears. On your next inhalation, let's bring the shoulders forward over the wrists, coming to plank pose. And we're going to hold here for a few breaths. Fill your shape with breath. If it's too uncomfortable and if you're finding yourself really shaking, then bring the knees to the floor and rest and hold the pose from this position. But whatever position you're in, really feel the abdominal core engaging. Feel the center of the body engaging. You can kind of feel as if you're pulling your hands back towards your toes and vice versa. And then inhaling, arching the back, coming to upward facing dog. Lift the chest. No pinching in the low back. Long, long spine. Inhaling, lifting the hips back to mountain pose. Exhaling, coming forward to upward facing dog. Inhaling, lifting back. Try to engage again from the core center. So as you come back, especially, inhale and draw back through the navel as if you had a string connected to your navel, just pulling you back. Inhaling back, exhaling forward. Full deep breathing. Two more. Good. And then relax the knees down to the mat for a moment and just come to resting in Vajrasana. Checking your sensations. Breathing deeply. And we're going to just do a little bit of lunging to open up the stomach channel, which comes down the front of the hips, up through the nipples, through the ovaries, through the knees, if you've got ovaries, that is. And we're just going to open up that stomach channel to let out any stagnation, to open up any stagnation and let out any heat that actually might be trapped in there, which happens sometimes. So we're going to start off by stepping the left foot forward, and we're going to let the right knee come down and relax as much as you can into this opening between the hips, and really focus on the opening in the front of the right thigh and the right hip, breathing right into that space. It gets so stagnant when we sit for too many hours of the day, so really trying to open up the space of the low belly into the front of the hip and the top of the thigh. Full deep breathing. Good. And then planting the hands, stepping the left foot back again. And then inhale, step the right foot forward and relax the left knee down. And same thing, we're just going to breathe into the front of the hip and the thigh. Full deep breaths. Just opening up that stagnation through the breath, not by forcing the position, but by breathing into the space. And once again, stepping the right foot back. And then we're just going to walk the feet towards the hands and the hands towards the feet, coming to a standing forward bend. And pressing down through both feet, bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, lift up with a nice flat back all the way up to standing. Take a moment to make any adjustments with your clothing that you need to make, but also just to check in with your sensations. And then step your feet apart about shoulder distance. And we're going to interlace the fingers in front of the pelvis. And then inhaling, I want you to lift the arms, draw down through the shoulders, lengthen the low back, and take a deep breath in. As you exhale, come to one side. Inhale to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale to center. Good. Now as you come through center this time, turn the palms up to face the ceiling, drop the shoulders, lengthen the low back, inhale, and exhale, come to the side, and let's hold the position. Keep pressing into both feet. Really feel both feet rooting down into the floor, both sides of the body lengthening. Only coming as deep as you can and still breathe. If you find yourself being drawn deeper into the posture, as long as you're still breathing, that's fine. Inhaling back to center. And then exhale and release, and just check the difference between the two sides before we come to the other side. Noticing differences in temperature, hot and cold, differences in a sense of weight, heavy or light, wet or dry. And then reinterlace the fingers, and this time again turn them up to face the ceiling and drop the shoulders away from the ears, and inhale, exhale, coming to the other side. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, release the arms. Checking sensations. And stepping the feet together again. Inhaling, lifting both arms. And then exhale, hinging at the hips only about 30 degrees forward. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, bring the knees right out over the toes. For some of you, you might want to actually put your knees right up against each other, whichever works for you, as long as the knees are pointing over the toes and not hurting at all. And then on the next inhalation, try to arch the upper back, lifting your chest towards the ceiling and flaring the ribs with your inhalation and exhalation. Feel like you're pushing the floor away even as you're pulling the floor towards you. Really engage the legs, especially the outside edges of the legs and the hips. Two more breaths. Inhaling, push the floor away. Exhale, lowering the arms. Once again, checking your sensations. Keeping the eyes open here. Really important. Keep the eyes open. Good. And we're going to come down onto our knees. And it's ideal if you can spread your knees apart like this and just sit on your heels, but if that's not comfortable, you can grab a blanket or a block or a cushion and just put it underneath your sit bones. And if all else fails, just sit cross-legged. So just take a moment here before we do our next posture to let the breath and the heart rate come back to a sort of neutral baseline. And this last posture that we're going to do before Shavasana is going to help us to release heat and stagnation from the digestive tract. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend a moment kind of visualizing a gathering up of any kind of heat or stagnation that's hanging out down here. And you want to see it kind of congeal into a ball. And then when we exhale, we're going to let out the breath with a ha sound. And you maybe saw that my belly kind of drew back and you're kind of expelling that ball that you've gathered together in the belly. So we're going to bring the palms to the floor. If you can, I want you to turn the fingers back towards you. That helps to open up the front of the wrist and the forearm, which gets really tight if you're too much on your smartphone or computer or driving. It also is going to help release heat and stagnation from the stomach channel. So take a moment, drop the head. If the discomfort in the forearms and wrists is too distracting for you to be able to concentrate on the rest of the posture, then use a different position. It could be like this, it could be like this, whatever is comfortable for you to lean on your hands. You can eventually work up to this if it works for you. Take a few moments to gather in all of that heat and stagnation into a little ball there in the base of the belly. I'm going to take a deep breath in. We're going to repeat this 2 more times. So just take a moment to gather up your resources, gather up that heat and that stagnation, compress it into a ball ready to leave your body. See it there, really compressing into this ball. Inhale. Good. One last time. And release the hands and sit for a moment just checking in with your sensations. And then when you feel ready, you're going to come down onto your back for Shavasana. So take a moment to get anything that you need to keep you warm or comfortable while you're practicing Shavasana. Make any adjustments in the position of your body that you want to make. Let the feet roll to the sides, palms turn up to face the ceiling, arms away from the body so that they're not touching the sides of the body. Let's take a deep breath in. Let it out with a sigh. Go ahead and close your eyes. And feel the support of the earth beneath you. Feel the nourishment of your spreading sensation, awakening and touching every part of your body. Feel the warmth and enthusiasm of fire filling the whole shape of your body. And then just feeling the breath. And letting go of any tension in the body, any holding in any of the muscles. Letting go of even control over the breath. So the breath may be a little shallow now, or it may be deeper. It doesn't really matter. Whatever is natural, let it be that right now. Notice if you're holding on to any thoughts or any sensations. And you don't have to push them away, but don't hold them either. Just let them be as they are. You're like the ocean, and thoughts are passing through like waves, not changing the base of the ocean, what the ocean is made of. Just being open, hosting everything that comes without pushing away or pulling towards you, just being with everything as it is. And when you notice some tension around a thought or around a muscle or around a sensation, just releasing it with the exhalation and going back to that open place. Continue to lay there relaxing in Shavasana as I chant for you a closing prayer to offer the merit of our practice to all beings in all times and spaces. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Namaste, and thank you so much for practicing today.